Hello, this is Kathleen with the World Economic Federation. Today we are going to talk about the long history of neglect and abuse of the military on the part of our political leaders, Wall Street, and the ruling class. Leaders are all about military might when it involves checks to the donor class in the military-industrial complex, and all about the troops when they make their speeches and staged photo ops with them on holidays or during political campaigns. But when it comes to paying the real costs of war on veterans and their families, it is labeled waste, fraud, and abuse. When it comes to veteran employment, that too is considered waste, fraud, and abuse if it interferes with giving billionaires more tax cuts. Veterans are a considerable part of those losing their jobs in the cuts of Elon Musk and his Orwell meets Idiocracy Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, because a crypto bro wanted to name a federal organization after a meme coin. These cuts are being enacted by a community of billionaires that reportedly consider the veterans community suckers and losers. Therefore, it is easy to see how such people would celebrate the destruction of the institutions and practices that honor the sacrifices of the veterans community, that include veterans' health care, veterans' benefits, veterans' jobs, as well as protect veterans from discrimination in the workplace for the health problems caused by their service. After all, to the billionaires who use their positions of privilege to evade mandatory service through emigration or deferments, the veterans have served their purpose in war and are now just useless and disabled mouths to feed. While the oligarchy is destroying the institutions that honor the sacrifices of veterans and the families that do love and support them, breaking the promises made to generations of veterans, they voice interest in wars of profit and conquest to annex foreign lands, to seize their natural resources to give to their cronies, while the military-industrial complex benefits from a new age of colonialism and demands that those in uniform sacrifice to serve the desire for conquest. No promise of potential future support for those sacrifices, be it to the veterans themselves or to their family survivors, cannot be declared waste, fraud, and abuse and taken away. This happens all while the Constitution and rule of law they are sworn to uphold and defend is being routinely ignored and undermined. When government refuses to honor its veterans, it falls to their families and communities to seek to support the restoration of services to those who have sacrificed dearly, not because they were suckers and losers, but because they believed in the importance of the Constitution and that, should they be harmed in defending the Constitution, they and their families would not have to shoulder that burden alone. This pattern of war for profit that sacrifices the working class and their rights is not new or unique to the United States ruling class, but the degree of betrayal of these commitments, while the veterans programs were of significant importance to the veteran co-founders of the Federation before recent events, those recent events have shown just how important it is to rebuild those services to veterans beyond the interference of the donor class and their pursuit of tax cuts. To veterans around the world, leave no one behind is a way of life, not just something to be fashioned into a political slogan for gutting education. The Federation is here to build those services. Access to health care, disability compensation, UBIs, and other programs for veterans around the world, not with an eye to underfund them to keep taxes low, but to build them well, to meet the needs of veterans on behalf of grateful nations and citizens. At the same time, the Federation structure can still aid in lowering taxes on the working class, while serving veterans and their families, as well as the cities, towns, and communities they live in. Billionaires do not care about our rights or our veterans. They care about the control and access they get, which leads to greater profits through corruption, graft, and neglect. If they are so willing to leave behind those who undeniably served their country, how quickly do you see them betraying the interests of those who have not so overtly served their country, working thanklessly in essential roles in their economy? Do you think that the same people who are willing to betray our nation's commitment to veterans who have sacrificed life and limb for their country would ever protect you just because you voted for a certain candidate or wear a hat with a slogan on it? If you wish to stand up against the mistreatment of the veterans in your families and communities and aid in the building of a movement to honor their unique sacrifices as much as your own, the Federation invites you to join and stand with us. By supporting the Federation in its commitment to serve you, your veterans, and your community, you help us state clearly that, unlike so many of today's politicians, we see serving those who have served as our job. We're not interested in platitudes of patriotism, but in building a system that can positively touch the lives of the veterans community and honor society's commitment to those who served. We want to bypass the political corruption of those who see themselves as the ruling class and who feel justified in leaving veterans behind to suffer and die further for their service, because doing right by the working class veterans community might just cut into their profits. If you want to create and defend your jobs and those of the veterans community from the avarice of the Oligarchy, while addressing the climate crisis independent of government support, or if governments want to work with us using our platform to lower your tax burden, please like, share, comment, subscribe, and consider registering at worldeconomicfederation.com to be eligible to join our social media and e-commerce platforms beta test and be eligible for promotions and giveaways that happen in your area.